Dark Owl. Well, this morning we're going to be finding out all about shadows. Have you seen your shadow before? Well, if you're outside and it's a sunny day, not like today, then you will have a shadow. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about shadows, and then we're going to have a go at doing some drawings of our own with shadows too. Now, in our Gruffalo's child book, on this page at the end, the little Gruffalo is tricked by the little mouse into thinking that this shadow belongs to the big bad mouse, when really it's only the tiny mouse's shadow up there on the branch. Now we can see the moon behind our little mouse here. Now the moon doesn't give out any light, but light from the sunshine goes down onto the moon and bounces off the moon, and it makes these shadows. So look at that enormous shadow of the mouse. Well, I'm going to tell you about shadows, then you can have a go at seeing if you can make shadows longer and shorter and bigger and smaller, just like the one here of the big bad mouse. Right, well, what you're going to need for this is a piece of paper. You're going to need a couple of small toys, and you're going to need something to make a light. So you could have a torch or a lantern like I've got, or you could use a light if you've got a little table light that you can ask your grown-up to plug in near to your paper, then you'll be able to use that. And we're going to practice making some shadows. Because outside today we can't use the sunshine. It's gummalog, it's cloudy out there. Right, now I'm just going to tell you a little bit about shadows. So here, shall we pretend this is Mr. Roberts? And here's Mr. Roberts outside. Now, when it's the morning time or the evening time, the sunshine is lower in the sky. And the way we get a shadow is, shall I pretend this is my sunshine? If the sunshine shines onto something, the light's coming from the sun, but Mr. Roberts is in the way of the light. The light can't get through Mr. Roberts. So instead, where Mr. Roberts is blocking the sun, it makes this shadow on the ground. So the sun can't get through Mr. Roberts and it makes a shadow, and that happens with everything that the sun shines on. So that's how we get shadows. Now, in the morning time, in the evening time, the sun is lower down in the sky. So it makes really long shadows. So if Mr. Roberts was walking outside on a sunny evening, his shadow would be really, really, really long. Much longer than Mr. Roberts actually is. And if he was walking outside at dinner time, in the middle of the day, the sun is higher in the sky, and that means that it's shining down more on Mr. Roberts, and his shadow is very small. So I can use my torch to pretend it's the evening time, or to pretend it's the middle of the day, and make Mr. Roberts' shadow go longer or shorter. And of course, if I turn my sunshine off, there's no shadow at all, because we need light to make a shadow. Right, so this is what we're going to have a go at doing today. Now we're going to have some of our toys, and we're going to shine a light behind them. So I've stood my troll and my dinosaur on my piece of paper, and I'm going to find a good position for my light behind them. Now you might not be able to see on there. I'll show you a picture. Have a look at this picture. Well, my light is behind my toys and it's making these big shadows on the ground. So what I can have a go at doing now is drawing with my pencil around my shadows. Shall I have a go at doing that? Okay, I'm going to do my troll first. Now I'm holding my light in my hand, but you'll want to stand yours on a table, I should think. And really I should be the other side, because my shadow from my arm's getting in the way a little bit. So really I'd be better to be away from my shadow being in the way too. I'm nearly done. Okay, so I've drawn around my troll shape, and then I'll be able to colour it in. So have a go at doing some shadow drawings today and see if you can make your own shadows and your shadows on your toy get bigger and smaller. Okay, And if you want to do something else, we've got another activity today where you can even make a little shadow puppet theatre, so you can have a look at that one too. Okay, Hwyl fawr, see you soon.